All right, everybody, welcome to this session. My name is Colin Fair. I'm a faculty member in the Department of Behavioral Sciences here at UAGC. I'll be serving as co-chair for this session along with my colleague Ted Ellis, who's also a faculty member in the Department of Behavioral Sciences. So as you've got the sense now, as you've attended other sessions, you know that the role of the co-chairs is just to make sure that everything goes as seamlessly as it can. So a couple of housekeeping items that we like to start off with just as reminders. The session will be monitored and recorded to ensure the best quality and best experience for you. In this session, your microphone will be muted throughout the duration of the session unless our presenter invites participants to speak. There may be an opportunity for that at the end. But the chat will be open, so please engage in the chat, post comments, reactions, questions, things that you have. We can pool those questions and answer them at the end. So definitely encourage you to do that as we get going. If we do see any AI companions or other chat bots, we'll be bumping those out. Just heads up on that. The recordings will be posted on the Summit website after the Summit concludes. So with that, very pleased to welcome you to this alumni speaker session. So it's a 30-minute session. We will outline the path of Jessica Smith, a UAGC graduate, as she adjusted to the lifestyle of a non-traditional student who found success here at UAGC. She's also going to detail how mentors have helped her in her progression. And finally, she'll discuss how she's paying it forward to mentor others and how her experiences reflect the culture of care at UAGC. So to kick things off, I'm actually going to play a brief little video of Jessica. So let me screen share again and then see if it will let me. I don't know if it's going to let me share sound. It's not giving me that option, Joe, to share sound.
Are hang on. Should be able to. Bear with me one sec. Colin, when you click on share, is there a section over there where it's giving you, is that button, can you click on that button, or
I can't click on it, but it's there, but I can't click on the share
all
sound
right,
button.
hold on one second. Let me make you a co-host again, and then let's see if it, all right, try it now.
Okay, let me try one more time. No, still not there for me. Let me maybe. Do you think it'll work on your end, Joe? If
Yeah,
I send
you want to share,
let
yeah,
me send you the link real
send you
quick.
the link. Let me take a shot at it.
Okay. Sorry about the technical difficulties, everybody. We'll get this taken care of.
Oh, I got it. All right, bear with me. All right, bear with me one second here. Not giving me that option either. It is not giving me that option either. Hang on, hang on, hang on. It's not giving me that option either. Let me try one more thing.
Oh, wait. I have it now.
Okay,
I got it.
there we go.
So thumbs up if it plays. You can hear it.
My name is Jessica Smith, and I'm the Director of Inside Sales for a sales team at a major company in the automotive industry. I was a teen mom. I had my son when I was 15 years old, which was part of the reason why I didn't finish high school, and I started my sales career at 19 years old. School was always something that I felt I didn't need because I was so successful without it until I wasn't. And I realized that I had to do more. When I decided to move forward with my education with UAGC, I majored in business leadership. I earned that degree in 2021 and my master's in psychology in 2023. If I become a VP one day, did I need the master's or did I need the bachelor's in order to get there? Probably not. But what I do know is it is an excuse of why we don't get the job, and I've eliminated all of those excuses, and I encourage people to do the same. Life has totally changed because there were so many things that came out of this experience for me. My husband, he also has his degree now from UAGC. He's walking the stage, we're walking together. So it really is a special time for our family.
Hope you got that. I mean, I get one of those again this week.
Will I go on to get a PhD? I don't know. I've learned never to say never, but I do know that I want to continue to pursue my dream to be a motivational speaker and to travel the world in my retirement years and just share my story with others and let them know that there's no limitations. You can do whatever you want to do when you put your mind to it, and you have the community to help.
So with that intro, I will turn it over to our presenter. Jessica, take it away.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jessica Smith, and I am thrilled to be here today. You know, when I was asked to speak at this summit, my first thought was, wow, they must have really run out of options this year. No, but seriously, I'm honored to share my journey with you all. Today, I'm going to take you on a little bit of a roller coaster ride through my journey as a UAGC student, the challenges of starting over in corporate America after a 20-year career, the incredible impact that mentors had on me, and how paying it forward is my way of embodying the culture of care. So buckle up. I think it'll be a short but hopefully fun ride for you. Now, the best place to start for me is to begin with the most important role that I've had yet, and that is being a mom. Picture this, I was a teen mom. I had my oldest son at 15, and I started my career very young. I think about this all the time, and I'm like, that sounds crazy. And you know what? It sounds crazy because it was crazy. Talk about multitasking. I'll never forget the day of my first big interview. I was living with my sister, my oldest sister in Chicago, and she's like, you got 30 days to find a job or you're out of here. So I did what we did back in the day, or as my 11-year-old would say, the olden days. I went and I bought a newspaper to look for a job. It was the Chicago Reader. And since I didn't have much time, I called the first ad that I saw. It said something like, if you love talking on the phone, you should call us today. I'm like, I love talking on the phone. So I called. A nice woman answered the phone. She asked me a few questions and she scheduled me for an interview the next day. And I remember I had to take a train and 3 buses to get there. So I walk in late, filled out the application, interviewed, and got the job on the spot. She said something like, oh my gosh, you're a natural. I'm like, okay, yes, I got the job. I had no idea that this nice lady would not just be my manager, but she would be my first mentor, someone who believed in me. Those were the good old days of job hunting. No endless application, no waiting for weeks to hear back from a recruiter, just good old-fashioned hustle and a little bit of luck. Anyway, that's how my mentorship journey began. I was fortunate enough to land a part-time gig as a telemarketer, and it turned out to be a pivotal moment of my life. The 2 owners of the remodeling and furnishing showroom that I worked for were brilliant businessmen. One had a background in pharmaceutical sales for Pfizer. He did his MBA at Kellogg. The other worked for Arthur Andersen, a major consulting firm back then. They took me under their wing along with my manager at the time, and they mentored me in every aspect of business, life, leadership, and sales. Their guidance was invaluable, providing me with both personal and professional development. Experiencing true mentorship was an incredible gift that really shaped my journey in profound ways. You see, that part-time telemarketing job eventually turned into a full-time leadership role and then an opportunity to leave Chicago and build a new team in Northern California. It was a little bit of being at the right place at the right time. Now, over the next 20 years, I grew in all aspects of my adult life. I learned how to build teams in operations, customer care, inside sales, outside sales, and much more. Despite barely having a high school diploma, I achieved a high level of success. And I had friends that had been burdened with their debt of their education, and I always kind of felt like I dodged a bullet until I didn't. See, that franchise that I was working towards owning went out of business after 75 years. My life plan for retirement was shattered, and I was devastated. Finding a job in Silicon Valley at my level, at my salary, without a college degree proved to be nearly impossible. And to make matters worse, my husband and I both worked for the company, and we were both in the same boat. Our family faced significant hardships, and we had to leave California. And here, those of you that are from California, you know how hard it is to leave California. But we needed a fresh start. Thankfully, I found an entry-level sales role at Cox Automotive, which was a humble experience after 20 years of a successful career. Shortly after I started with Cox, I noticed there was a young lady. She sat in the cubicle to the right of me, and every day at lunchtime, she would sit at her desk and she was busy at work. I wondered, what is she doing? And finally, one day I asked, out of curiosity, what are you doing every day at lunch at your desk? And she shared with me that she was doing her schoolwork, that she was getting her college degree, and that Cox paid for her to go to school. They offered a tuition assistance program? Really? I had no idea. Sign me up. I knew that this was my chance. This was my chance to get that piece of paper that had been holding me back. But my first class was a fast failure. I truly underestimated the time management and the discipline needed to be a mom, a wife, a leader, a student after so many years of being away from school. I was drowning. Thankfully, there was support and I asked for help. I remember speaking to my academic advisor who suggested that I take advantage of the communities that were out there to support my journey as a student. The first one was the CHAMPS mentorship program. Game changer. I was matched with a wonderful mentor that helped me put together a plan of action that would help me with my time management and my busy schedule. I was committed to that plan, and I found my rhythm. Next, I joined Toastmasters and discovered a community of people who were not just investing in their education, but leadership and public speaking. Now, this is my jam. Where has this place been all my life? I had no idea that Toastmasters was even a thing. Another group of wonderful people from all walks of life willing to walk alongside me on this journey. Are you seeing a theme here? Community. I later went on to be the president of the Cox Automotive Toastmasters, and along with a wonderful leadership team, we doubled our employee participation at Cox Automotive Toastmasters. Shout out to UAGC Toastmasters. Thank you. After a few months of connecting with UAGC communities, I realized it was time. It was time for me to pay it forward. Now, I did a lot of mentoring in the corporate environment, but I was so grateful for the support that I received getting back on track in this new world that I wanted to share that with others. I decided to be a mentor in the Champs mentoring program. I remember I was so excited to get started with my first mentee. I would soon learn that she was pursuing her degree while in a rehabilitation center. I was so inspired by this woman. We connected and bonded quickly as my mother is a recovering addict, along with many others in my family. My second mentee was a young man from Indiana, born into a wealthy family in the construction business. This kid was like 21 years old and owned his own business. And if I'm being honest, I thought, what the heck do I have to offer this kid? He probably has already everything he needs to be successful. But through a few discovery conversations with him, we learned that he had a dream of being in law enforcement, a dream that he had left behind as a kid as his dad groomed him to take over the family business that his grandfather had started. We partnered to create an individual development plan that included building a network around his goals, which, by the way, he had no concept, just like me, of what that meant or how to go about it. We would have coaching sessions on how to build a network around law enforcement and finding mentors in that space. His plan would set him up for success for the job that he has today as an Indiana State Police officer. I am so proud of him. I also have a brother and 3 sisters in law enforcement. Yes, I have a big family that has allowed me to learn so much in the last, well, let's just say 21 years or so, but who's counting anymore? When I think about our UAGC culture of care pillars, communicate, advocate, respect, empower, and being student-centered, they all manifested in my interactions with Champs, Toastmasters, and other UAGC communities. I completed my bachelor's degree in business leadership, and I thought, I am done. I believed I would never be told that I couldn't have a job or earn a decent salary because of that piece of paper. However, during a check-in with one of my close mentors, I realized I'm not done. And not because of a job or a salary, but because of my passion and my desire to serve people. I wanted to be better equipped to grow and develop people. So after a series of meetings to discuss my next steps in my education journey, I decided to continue my education and pursue a master's in psychology. Little did I know this would be a real resume booster for a leader, even in sales. I walked the stage in 2024 with my husband, who completed his bachelor's in cybersecurity and now is working on his master's in organizational leadership at UAGC. Reflecting on how the Champs program has shaped my professional and personal life, I can confidently say that it has been transformative. Professionally, it has enhanced my leadership skills, allowing me to mentor and guide others effectively. Personally, it has deepened my sense of empathy and understanding as I have connected with individuals from diverse backgrounds and experiences. The mentorship experience has fostered a sense of trust and belonging, core principles of UAGC culture of care. By building these meaningful relationships, I've seen firsthand how a supportive community can empower individuals to achieve their goals and overcome challenges. As I wrap up with my story, I'd like to share some impactful takeaways from a book that I've recently read, and it has greatly inspired me. The title is Lean In: Women, Work, and the Will to Lead by Sheryl Sandberg. This book offers valuable insights on leadership and mentorship, and I believe it can inspire you just as much as it has inspired me as a woman in leadership. First, Sandberg envisions a world where women run half of the companies and countries and men run half the homes. Imagine that. She emphasizes that more women in leadership roles will lead to equal representation and fair treatment. This vision encourages us to strive for gender equality in all aspects of life. Secondly, the book aims to inspire women to reach higher and believe in themselves. Sandberg encourages women to lean in, take risk, and pursue their ambitions despite the obstacles they face. The message is a powerful reminder that we cannot let fear hold us back from achieving our goals. Lastly, Sandberg discusses the challenges women face in balancing their professional and personal lives. That's me. She provides insights on how women can navigate their challenges and achieve their fulfillment in both areas. This takeaway highlights the importance of finding a balance that works for us and supports our overall well being. Now, I know what you folks are thinking. So, here, listen up. While the book primarily focuses on women's experiences, its lessons are valuable for everyone. Many of you have a wife, a daughter, a sister, a neighbor, a friend, and learning to understand every perspective makes us all better together. In closing, as I reflect on my journey, it is clear that mentorship and a culture of care has been key in shaping my path. From my early days as being a teen mom to the first job, navigating the challenges of starting over in my career, mentors have been my guiding lights. Their belief in me and their guidance have empowered me to grow so much. Looking ahead, my vision for the CHAMPS program and the UAGC's culture of care is one of significant growth. I aspire to see the program expand, reaching more students and staff, and creating even more opportunities for mentorship and connection. I envision a community where every individual feels valued, supported, and empowered to achieve their full potential. By continuing to foster trust, belonging, and mutual respect, we can build a community that not only supports academic and professional success, but also nurtures personal growth and well being. I thank God for his guidance and blessings throughout my journey. I am grateful that you all chose to be here today with me. I want to wish my best friend and my husband, Mr. Will Smith, a happy birthday today. And let's all lean in and create a culture of care in all of our workplaces. Thank you.
Wow.
Awesome, Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. And I hope you have an opportunity to review the comments in the chat with the positive appreciation for your story, for your insights. I just really appreciate your elaboration and discussion on mentorship and bringing that into the context of the culture of care. It's very evident in the chat that your presentation has moved and inspired those in attendance, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity to listen to your story.
Thank you.
And
If anybody has questions, they
yes,
can
post them.
plug them into the chat and we can take those. And I have one, Jessica, as I was thinking, is because we've spent some time chatting in preparation for this, and just this idea of mentorship, and something I was reminded of today is hearing your experiences again, is you have both formal mentorship experience and informal mentorship experience, and it was causing me to reflect, because I'm like, I have all these mentors, but it wasn't really like any formal agreement. It was more informal, but it got me thinking. I mean, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the differences between those. Are there specific traits that might be more well suited for an informal situation versus a formal situation, or just any thoughts on that in general?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Dr. Collin. I think that for me, I encourage people to, just like you do your stock portfolio, to really diversify your mentorship. I have a group of people, I call them the board of directors over my career. And some of them have been people that I signed up for a mentorship program and we were matched. And some of them are what I call organic mentorship. So someone that I met, we just hit it off, we kept in contact. And these are people who I trust, who have wisdom, who are in places that I want to go. And I have made this board of directors over my career. And it's a mix of both. So I encourage people to do both. If you're not someone who puts yourself out there and networks, and you have to be in the room in order to be able to find organic mentorship. So if that's not you, then sign up for a program that will match you with someone. And maybe there's not that connection with that one. Try it again and again and again until you do have that for yourself. Because what I learned is that there is no way I would be where I'm at today without mentorship. I think it's vital.
Wonderful. Thank you
There's,
for that perspective.
yes, thank you. And there is a question in the chat from Lilith. Which role did you find more fulfilling, being a mentor or a mentee, and why?
Oh, wow. Well, it's definitely, if I'm talking about fulfilling, it's definitely being a mentor. So I learned so much. I tell the story about the kid from Indiana, and I should probably stop saying a kid, but anyone 31 or younger is a kid for me because that's my son. But it's I learned that we all have something to offer someone. And so just that experience with, someone who my own biases, I have to admit, made me think that he had everything set up for him to be successful. And yes, he had businesses, but he wasn't happy. He wasn't fulfilled. He forgot about his dream. So when I think of what's more fulfilling for me, it's absolutely being a mentor. Thank you for that question, Lilith.
Yes, excellent question. Thank you for the response. I really appreciate the insight on the why in that context. I'll ask just a brief question. If you were to connect mentorship to a particular pillar of care, or elaborate a bit more on how that intersects, which you really laid the foundation for that, how would you continue to expand on the connection between the culture of care and mentorship?
Oh, wow. I think that, they all kind of go, hand in hand for me. Um, so the culture of care, I think that, we all think about community, and sometimes it's being a part of a community. I think that one kind of just stands out to me, and it's knowing that there's two sides of that. It is, serving others and not just reaping the benefits of being part of that community, and knowing that wherever you're at in your journey, you can certainly, be a part of that community. So the community aspect, I think, is a big part that really stands out to me when I think about those pillars.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And we have just a couple minutes, but there is another question in the chat from Annie. What strategies do you advocate for creating a healthy balance between work, education, and personal life?
Wow. Well, listen, I admit it that I am a work in progress. If my husband is out there listening, he can vouch for that. But, one of the things, and I was part of a panel discussion yesterday that we talked about this too, and really setting boundaries. I have a work phone and I have my personal phone, and I am committed that this is my goal this year, that I'm going to dust off that work phone, and I'm going to make sure that I have the work phone and the personal phone, because especially this work from home life, this is, new for me. And sometimes we don't know where to turn it off, because I have, so an area of my home is my office. That's important. And it doesn't matter what area it is, have a designated area that's your work area. And when you're done with work, be done with work, and do not take that laptop to your bedroom or in your, living room on your sofa. So it's really just setting boundaries for yourself. Another thing that I learned to do is I put a calendar invite for myself to step away during the day. And I found that I was so loyal to my calendar that I had to find where my well-being and my calendar met. And I'm like, well, I'll put it on my calendar. And so I have a calendar. And I know that sounds crazy for some people, but I have to have a calendar invite for myself to step away. So to answer, hopefully that answers your question. I think it's set boundaries for yourself. I remember having an alarm. When I was in school, I had an alarm at 5:01. That was it. This was my school time. And it didn't matter what was going on. I would deal with it after my school time. So that was another area where I had to set a boundary that I was committed to my schoolwork. And that was part of the plan that my mentor helped me put together to have those boundaries and set up a plan where you can be more organized and really focus on time management.
Well, thank you. Thank you again, Jessica, on behalf of Colin and Joe and I and all the attendees. Just tremendous session. The last comment, I think, posted by Dana. Appreciation for your response that you just provided to that question. That is a fantastic strategy, Dana says. So the positive comments continue to be appear in the chat. And thank you again for the insights on mentorship and the culture of care in your session today.
And thank you for having me. Have a good rest of your day.